What's poppin', everybody? It's your boy Skipper Doo, Scott Vlad. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to dive straight into this shit. We're going to be talking about my drug-induced psychosis that I was in exactly a year ago today. This time last year, I was in a drug-induced psychosis that was also my spiritual awakening. So, let's get right into it. I was addicted to a lot of drugs. I was addicted to getting high. I was addicted to escaping my feelings, my emotions, the present moment. So I used to smoke poppers. So if you don't know what a popper is, it's weed and tobacco from a bong. And it came to the point where I was smoking about 300 a day, and I needed it to live, I used to say. So like, I need this high to feel normal, to feel myself. And 300 poppers, I lost a lot of weight. Got super ripped from it, though. But I was smoking a lot of poppers. Then once the first lockdown kicked in, I started drinking more too, because I was inside. So I was drinking, smoking poppers, smoking weed that was laced with Xanax. I'm pretty sure it was. And then I was taking Xanax at the same time from that same dealer. So those were the main drugs in there. And then I was staying up for 2-3 days in a row, editing videos or whatever I was doing at the time on Zoom video party chat calls. And then my one dealer at the time, he's like, yeah, I got acid. So I was like, okay, I want to do acid. I think it was about 350 UGs of acid, which is like an average dose, I think. A little bit high, maybe. And I got 2 of them. I gave one to the one dealer that was dealing me Xanax. And I ended up cutting the acid into like 2 or 3 squares. Like cut the square up a little bit. It was Rick and Morty acid. And then over the time of being inside, I was like smoking all day. Smoking shatter pens. Eating like shatter edibles, or cookies and cream shatter edible. I ate like one of those in a day, smoking 300 poppers, getting as high as I could basically. And at one point I was even like crushing fucking NyQuil pills and snorting them. So that's my journey. And I was smoking weed, like addicted to smoking weed and alcohol, going to the bars like 2, 3, 4 times a week, or getting drunk that many times as well. A lot. So that happened a lot. So once the lockdown kicked in, like I said, I was going even more hardcore. And when it came down to the acid, I think I took it in parts, like I was saying, cut it up, and I took it. So it kind of slowly kicked in the psychosis, the drug-induced psychosis, not just psychosis, drug-induced psychosis. And then it was on like a whole 2-week journey during this time last year. I had like a messiah complex. So I thought I was Jesus. I knew, obviously, yes, I knew about religion. I knew a little bit about spirituality. I didn't have any real knowledge or wisdom on like anything at all. Even the acid, I just was taking that for fun. But obviously psychedelics have like a spiritual property. They can be very mystical trips, and they can reveal a lot about you. It was like an ego death at the same time for me. So over that 2 weeks, I was at home about a week with my mom, and then she flew out to England for a month to go for her mom's funeral. All right. So for the first week, I started like organizing my room so that it was like my room was my internal reality, and everything I did in my room went external. So I took everything out of my room that was negative, not serving me, whatever. And then I started building like something on my floor with like a mat. And I put my Buddha on the floor that I have. Those are my buddies. We need buddies in this world. I had a box that had hearts on it. So I was putting like, oh, we'll put this in. We'll put this money. We need money. We need cars. We need love in this world. We need peace. We need happiness. I was putting things that represented that, and symbolic like things that I would put in the box. And then that was like the phase 1. And then once I was done that, I was like getting voices. I was like, what would Jesus do? A modern day Jesus. I'm a reincarnation of a modern day Jesus. And I was like, what would he do? Well, I'm not going to like kill myself or anything, whatever. So I stabbed a nail through my hand. So I had a 2-inch nail, and I was like running around crazy in my house and shit. It was normal for me though. Everything had logic, and my mom didn't think about it because she was going through stress. And those were the only people I really saw, my mom. So then once this was done, I have like a cigar box where I keep my crystals in now. It's a nice big wooden cigar box. I put my hand on it. I had the nail through like a spike for like a military thing. I put the nail through it, and I just went for it. I was like, stabbed it straight through. Maybe that's why I have that mark. Okay, so it's like right about there on my hand. I was trying to get straight through my hand. It didn't go through. It went pretty deep in though, because it was 2-inch nail. And then I pulled it out. It didn't bleed for a little while, but I think it was because it was above my heart. And I'm pretty sure when your hand's above your heart, the blood won't flow right away. And then eventually, I have like 10-15 seconds, it started bleeding. But it felt so good. It felt so relieving that it was like an energy that needed to come out, came out. and it became so much more like peaceful in my mind at that time. And then I was like, shit. And then I went and had a shower, bandaged up. My mom just came up at the time. She's like, what are you doing? I was like, no, I stabbed a nail. I'm Jesus. And because she was so occupied with her mom's funeral and everything going on in her life that she didn't think too much about it. And so that was the one Jesus thing. And then I think the next day I got like a fucking blue Kate Spade blanket I had. I was wearing something that I thought Jesus would wear. I looked up a picture of Jesus on Google, and I put on like a red tank top, swimming shorts, flip-flops, and that blanket. And then I took more acid on my way down to the lake near me. It's like a bike path, and there's a drop, and it's cliffs. So when you go down one of the cliffs, there's it's like a drain. It's like a concrete drain that's below this concrete like slab. It's about 10-15 foot drop into the water, because the water comes and splashes up. And good thing it was high water, because when I jumped, which I'll get to that in a second, it hurt a little bit. So when I was on my way down, I was taking acid. It was lots of gnats out, because it was that time of year here in Canada. So I'm getting hit by the bugs. I'm like, no, this is part of it. These are the locusts and I don't know what was going through my mind. Then when I got down there, I sat there for a few minutes. I'm waving my blanket though as I'm walking down the street, like, yes, come to me, bugs, come to me. And then I was getting like these messages, downloads from whatever it was, the universe, I don't know. And it's like, okay, just sit down, meditate for a minute. And I was just sitting there looking. I was like, this is Jerusalem. This is where it's the end of the world. It's the end of the world right here. This is the flat earth. I don't know what I was saying. I was combining every single theory, conspiracy theory, every single like knowledge and piece of information I knew about biblical sense and like that kind of thing. So then I jump off the cliff. I'm like, I gotta jump. So I run straight off this cliff. I jump, open my arms, spin in the air, so I'm going down backwards. And it's pretty high. It's 10-15 feet. And on it, actually, there's two aliens, like a pink and a green or pink and a blue alien that was painted. So I was like, I'm an alien too. I need this. So when I jumped off, turned around, I hit the water, obviously. It was kind of crashing, a little bit of waves. Cold, of course, because it was in April. And once I hit the water, and then I hit the ground. It was maybe like 2-3 feet in the ground, so I didn't hurt myself too much, but I hit the ground for sure. And then I was terrified because I thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to get swept out, but I thought I have to die too, and then I'll come back as a angel of Jesus. I don't know. So once I did that, I was terrified. So I ran to the drain, and I was going to try and fit through, like, I don't know, I've seen movies where they're in a situation with water and they have to crawl I don't know what it was. I thought I have to go through that drain to like come out, and then I'm like, oh wow, it's a newborn land or whatever. And I screamed a buddy's name of mine because I thought that led to like the basement of his house up the road where I live in the same complex. Obviously didn't, but I screamed his name, and I was like, shit, I got to do something about this, or else I'm going to die of hypothermia. I'm going to get sucked out again or whatever. So then I go to the right of it. There's a cliff, like the side of the cliff, and it's a dirt wall. And I'm like, Jesus had to do this just back then. And this is now modern day, whatever, it's Jerusalem, Bethlehem, I don't know. Or Iraq now, I think it is, right? And I climb up this wall. I'm like, my flip-flops went away, the blanket went away, so I'm just in a t-shirt, my red tank top, swimming shorts, and some like beaded necklace that you get at like a Mexican festival or whatever. So I'm climbing up the wall, and that was pretty easy. I was a little afraid because I didn't want to fall, but I was dirty as shit. And when I was actually trying to get through the vent or the drain, I cut my forehead, so I was bleeding. I didn't know it until I got home and looked at myself. Then I go home, I start walking. I'm barefoot. It's freezing. I'm trying not to shake or be cold because I'm like, I'm Jesus. I can't do that. But people are going to be like, yo, this is Jesus. He's here to save us. He's back again. That's the Messiah complex, right? And just walked home. I'm pretty sure, obviously, people stared at me. I think now people probably still recognize me because I went a lot of places in the psychosis. And that was that one phase, right? So then when I got home, my mom's like, what'd you do? I was like, oh, I jumped off the cliff. Yeah? Oh, whatever. And then she flew out a few days after that. But actually, before she did that, my buddy came over who's been through a psychosis, and he was like, yo, you're in a psychosis. And I was like, yeah. And then I was showing him whatever signs and like fucking hidden knowledge I was showing him on my phone. And then he's like, yeah, it kind of makes sense, but you're in a psychosis. And then he was good about it. And then he went home, obviously, because I didn't fully think I was. And then during that week before the hospital, where I was in the hospital near me all of May 2020, I trashed my whole damn house. I threw everything into the basement, or a lot of things in the basement, unplugged the Wi-Fi, smashed the like 60-inch TV we had, broke my new iPhone 11 Pro, smashed, I think, a bunch of things. I broke a lot of things in the house. My mom had to claim insurance, and it was good, though. The fridge, I fucking opened it, flipped it down. All the food was out. There was ice cream on the floor in my living room because I was eating, and I was throwing it around. I was trying on clothes in my mom's room, and I thought I had, like, a soulmate twin flame lover that was getting created for me, because then my mom's from England, so I thought I was going to be the king of the world too, and then where's my queen? So then my family's been planning this whole ordeal event for, like, my whole life, and this is where I realized I woke to that story, I guess it was, and I thought I was living in a smart home too, so I thought everything was watching me from the windows, the TV, everything. And then I guess that's why I broke the TV too, because I was like, I don't want to be watched anymore. I just want you guys to come out and love me, and we can live happily ever after. And then every time I went on Facebook, because I still have my laptop, I don't want to bring my laptop for some reason. Every time I went on Facebook, there was something that corresponded to what I was doing in the house. So I thought it was like a 24-hour, 24/7 feed live video that was going on some hidden link that I was always trying to find too. And people were watching it. But I think it was just like happened to be coincidence of what they were posting was what I was experiencing kind of a little bit in my house. So then that was basically that. I thought that lover was going to come. So one night I think I bondaged myself up. Like I tied myself with like my ties I had, tied myself to my bed, got naked, and I was like, she's going to come, and I kept hearing stuff. But I'm pretty sure it was my cats that were roaming around. I tried sleeping in my shed in the backyard for a few nights because I thought we were going to have sex in there, me and my lover. I thought my cat at one point was going to turn into this girl because they had a similar name. A lot of different things. And on top of that, I got a break and enter charge because I think it was like 12 in the morning when I read 2 in the morning, something when I read the police read me the report, or my lawyer read the report of the police. So I walked into this like nice house. It was Planet Homes. Just finished getting built. It was a modern house. People were living in there. So I just walked straight in. I think I put on their slippers, and then I just walked around the house. I was looking at the bananas. I was like, those are my bananas. That's my TV. That's my couch. Oh, this is such my new house that me and my lover are going to live in on Perfect Street with the nice cliff. That was the same side of the lake because I was going to part that Red Sea from earlier, part Lake Ontario. And then eventually cops came in like 20 minutes later. They're like, is this your house? I'm like, yes, it's my house. No, it's my house. They're like, nope, the people upstairs say it's not your house. They called the cops on you. So then I got taken down to the station downtown, and I guess I got charged at that time, and I was supposed to show up to court later that year, but I didn't because I didn't think anything of it when I came out of the hospital. I was like, oh no, that was in my imagination. That was whatever. It's all good. And then I got a summons to court at the end of last year, and then now I'm just dealing with the break and entry now. I was facing 90 days in prison or jail or whatever, but not anymore. I'm going through a divergent peace bond plan so I don't go to jail. I would have been fine with it either way, though. I just don't want that on my record. So that's that basic part. There was other like events that happened where I was running around like the lake with my mom's tights on, a pink shirt. I climbed on someone's balcony that was in like the house at the top of the hill by the lake. Then I was running down the lake. I was walking down the lake all fucking looped out, psychotic. I went through the shipyard, and there was people there all cheering. I thought they were like, yeah, you're going to marry her, Scott. You're going to marry her. I'm pretty sure they were just like egging me on. They were like tripping me out. They're like, yeah, this is just a whack job. He's just walking through. And there, whatever. And that was like the main portion. Obviously, I was posting shit on Facebook, like spiritual awakening, because I knew something was up. I did kind of research on like, what's a spiritual awakening? But it was so ungrounded, so like sporadic thinking that everything was just me. So I would watch like Joe Rogan episodes on the podcast. And I would think that they're all talking about me in certain videos, and I'm going to be rich, and like I'm the guy that at the alien whatever it was, right? So I was doing shit. I was trying to make UFOs in my house. I tried, like, I had a bong, so I smoked the bong, and then I put a light bulb over the bong before the smoke started coming out, and then I put, like, some batteries, some metal, some plastic, trying to, like, light up the light bulb with the smoke in the bong, with the electric synergy between all these items. It didn't work. And I was in the tub a lot singing at like 4 a.m. I had neighbors messaging me on Facebook saying, yeah, shut the fuck up. We have kids. We're cool, obviously, but and I was like fucking thinking I was immune from going to jail because I was the king and I had immunity from the court system and whatever. And then one day my dad came over because my parents are divorced, but he came over to check on me because I wasn't answering my phone because I broke it. And he's like, what the fuck? He's like going crazy. And he's like, I'm calling the cops. I'm like, yeah, we'll call them. I got my court. I was in the tub. I had like a bunch of documents that meant nothing to me lined up, and I thought they were gonna like help me not go to jail. But then they just came. They sent like regular cops, a lot of cops. There's like 20, 30 cops. I think my sister said there was SWAT because my sister mentioned that I had a machete. I wasn't swinging my damn machete around, but I guess they wanted to send SWAT. So then I just went in the ambulance. I come out in a fedora, a pink thong, Kegel beads that were in my junk area. And then I just went to the ambulance. Then my mom, then the cop's like, you can't bring the Kegel. He's like, is this all you have on you? I'm like, I got Kegel beads in my penis area. He's like, okay, we can't bring those. I'm like, yeah, all right. And then I was in the ambulance. It was a cute blonde girl, so I tried having sex with her because like I didn't like that much. I ran at her, and then she, what are you doing? And then they brought a cop on, and then I was in the hospital for 2 days, a lockup. Broke my pinky from punching the window, trying to save some girl that had to go to the bathroom or have her period or something. And then after that, I went to the crazy floor. I guess it probably was a C4. The one side there was like 8 of us. It was like 10 bedrooms, something like that. You got a call every day. You get one call you can make to your family or whatever. And we kind of got pretty close in there. And then when you're not as crazy, you go to the other side. You can see through the windows too. They have like doors where you can see. And then you make it to the other side where you get 30 to 60 minutes of computer time. And it's better food. I think it's pretty close to the same food. It's just more people. There's like 30 or 40 rooms on that side. So you got to walk around. But we couldn't access the exercise room. We couldn't eat all together because of COVID and whatever. So I had to wear masks in there. But I didn't have my glass at the time, so I didn't care. And I didn't know what was going on. I just wanted to get the fuck out of the hospital. They put me on like 5 different medications, like 2 sleeping pills, a Abilify shot, maybe like a bipolar depression type of pill and whatnot. And then when I left the hospital, I was a little psychotic still. I'm not going to lie. And then after a week or 2, I went off my meds and I was like, yo, I just had a spiritual awakening. And then the past year, since now, I've been in research on myself and all that kind of thing. So, that's basically the story. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to comment down below, poo. If you want to subscribe, click. Thank you so much. I'm Scott Vlad. Peace.